Man, guys, happy Friday. We're 1 week away from baseball season. Been a pretty good week.
That here already?
Yep, already back. As you guys know, promo code NBA 2024. Last week you can use it, get $100 off. You'll be locked in on that. Make sure you guys take advantage of that. Been a good week in the NBA. Split on a couple of totals yesterday. Winning days, though, all throughout the rest of the week. And really, I believe it's now 9 of the last 10 winning days. So things are heating up. We're getting some big sweeps. We'll see if we can pick that up and continue that on the weekend. Currently, not much action going today. We'll see if that changes, obviously, with injury info and everything else. John, how we doing? How we feeling? Bit of a crazy week in the NBA, but the injuries did slow down just a little bit. However, Kawhi Leonard, he has had some issues, and Luka Doncic, he's had some issues. So I guess it did tick up a bit.
Well, Kawhi answered that injury issue last night as he looked fine. He left the game after just 12 minutes. It was a game we actually had the Timberwolves. We looked like we were in trouble there. But Kawhi leaves the game, and we get that win, a big outright win. I think they flipped the score from down 22 to winning by 18. So a 40-point swing. Kawhi is huge. He's worth huge. And mentioning that because he might be out tonight. Clippers are on a back-to-back. Harden didn't play last night. We'll get more into that. But again, Kawhi, he answered that. Is he healthy? Is this the start of missing games? No, he looked great last night. Luka, 7 straight triple doubles until he had to get taken out in the last few minutes. That hammy's a problem. We're gonna have an MRI on it, and they'll see about it this weekend. So, man, just when Mavs were playing unbelievable ball, and then yesterday. They go fight OKC without Luka. Kyrie steps up. This kid Gafford don't miss a fucking shot. I mean, he finally did miss his shot. He missed his first shot yesterday after 33 for 33 field goals attempts. That's can't do that in a video game. Only Wilt Chamberlain more field goals in a row, 35 in a row. But guys like that, Lively stepping up, Hardaway 20-something off the bench. Luka in there, they're a threat. They're a threat all of a sudden. Like I said, Timberwolves they take down a little bit, losing Cat. We'll see how the rest of it goes. But it's always about the injuries. We got a ton of them today. We'll talk about them as we go through the card.
Yeah, of course. And you're talking about Dallas. We had a couple days ago, we had Dallas going. We had Sacramento going with the Lakers. We had Dallas going with Golden State. So we're going to have Lakers, Golden State tomorrow. So we're having that kind of starting to shape up a little bit for those play-in teams. John, I know this is kind of just on the spot, but right now it's pretty certain those are the 4 play-in teams. Do you see it being those 7-8 seeds, or Mavs, Kings coming out, or how do you see that shaping up?
Well, let's take a look. Right now, your 4 play-in teams, Phoenix, after last night's loss, dropped down in Sacramento into the 6th spot. And I'm just not sold on Phoenix. I got to be honest with you. We'll see more with them going forward. But you take a night like last night, man, the Celtics shot 50%, but 25 of 50, 25 makes. You can't let a team shoot 50% from 3. You're not going to win that way. Injuries down the stretch. You've got the top 4 teams are pretty much going to be set. It's that 5 through 8 that could be interchangeable. Pelicans, Kings, Mavs, and Suns. And again, injuries will play a big part. If Mavs are going to be without Luka for an extended period, you could see them not getting up to that top 6. Suns. I mean, it's either Booker or it's a Beal and KD. It's always what if the big 3 played 10 games together so far this season, or it almost seems like that's all about they've played. So injuries will have a big part going down the stretch. We'll look at a Pelican team tonight that just one that we thought they were getting right. Cavs come to town and blast them in New Orleans, and also did it from the 3-point line. Got to guard that 3-point line. That's the weapon. This is 2024. We're not playing 1990s basketball. You got to guard that 3-point line. So if I had to say, we already pretty much assumed Warriors, Lakers, they'll be your 9 and 10 teams, and it'll be a fight for those other 4 teams to be the 7 and 8 seeds. And I believe that'll really have to do with basically injuries.
We'll see more about those injuries. We'll go through this slate here. Top game on the card. It is that Phoenix Suns team going up against the Charlotte Hornets. The Suns team, like you mentioned, allowed Boston to go 25 for 50 last night. they did have it going offensively. 4 or 5 starters scored 20 plus. Nurkic, he had 8 points, 20 boards, 6 dimes. Just defensively, an issue there. And then you have this Hornets team who's been playing pretty solid at home. They're 4-4, 6-2 against the spread their last 8 home games. As far as the matchup history, it's all Phoenix. They've won the last 6, and definitely a little bit of a get-right spot here for the Suns in this situation. Would be interested to see what this number looks at halftime. You've had a really tough schedule here for the Suns. They go Celtics, Cavs, Celtics, Hornets, and then they go at Milwaukee, Philly. So this is definitely on this little East Coast trip. Maybe letdown spot. Denver's in a similar situation today when we get there, but lean here to Hornets at halftime. Want to see what we can get if we can get a bigger price with the Hornets.
So I never anticipate a letdown spot coming off a loss. So they take a loss last night at Boston. Again, a 15-point loss, letting them shoot 25 from 50. So I don't really think they're at luxury to let down. Plus, this is their chicken soup. 6 straight, the last 5, all by 14 points or better. This is a team they absolutely own, a team that they should get right with. It would be Phoenix or nobody, but I'm not laying 10 on the road with the team that's back-to-back that could possibly give somebody rest tonight, Beal, Booker, or KD. So you got to be on the lookout for that. And look, this is the NBA 2024. Any NBA, you got to watch out for. But when you got Beal often injured, Booker often injured, KD, 135 years old, you got to be watching out for these guys to get a day's rest. Suns or nobody, we'll see what those lineups. Right now, 10 would be too much for me, though.
We have the Heat at the Pistons. Miami is going to be a first game of a 2-game set here. This Miami team starting to cool down a little bit. They were red hot, now lost 4 in a row. They have still been getting it done on the road, 6-3 straight up, 8-1 against the spread their last 9 road games. And this Pistons team, they've been hanging within some numbers recently. We'll see if that continues today. 3-1 straight up on the homestand. Might be the best ball they're playing all year. And 11-4 ATS, their last 15 at home. Matchup history's all Pistons. They've covered 8 of the last 9 meetings. As far as the wins, it's all Miami. They've won 4 straight. So this is just kind of Miami winning games, but not by much. I believe it's not more by than 8 in the last 10 meetings here. Pistons, Cunningham, questionable. Pretty good without him. 4-4 straight up, 8-0 against the spread. Last 8 games without Cunningham. Would like to see if he's out and that number goes higher, John.
Yeah, as Ben said, Miami wins this matchup 8-1 the last 9, but Pistons covering 7 of the 9. So it's usually what it is now. Miami is 7 to 9 point favorite. They win, just don't cover. Could see more of that today. Again, just as Ben said, Pistons playing better ball without. I know it sounds stupid, but they play better ball against the spread without Cunningham. So we would expect this line to go up. Cunningham's not out. He's questionable to get some rest. They've been playing good ball. I don't know why they would take him out at this point, but he's listed questionable. If he's out, that line will go up. At that point, we would take a shot with the Pistons and let Miami, a team that doesn't score many points, try to win by double digits on the road. Although they have been good on the road, I think they've covered 8 of their last 9.
We have Magic at Toronto. Orlando coming off a win against the Nets. They've been playing pretty solid. They had 7 in double figures in that game. They're 7-3, their last 10 on the road. And Toronto, they come back from an 0-4 trip. They just lost that Detroit, 21 turnovers in that game. There's all kinds of issues, all kinds of injuries. I mean, they could potentially be down 4 of their 5 starters today. So really, really tough to want to back this Raptors team with all the injuries. Big number on this game, but one too many injuries for me there. I don't think Quickly can handle this one on his own. Got to be Orlando or nobody on this pregame line, but number's too high for me.
Way too high. 8.5 is a lot of points. Orlando, another team that does it with defense, 3rd in the league and allowing in points allowed. And Toronto's decimated though. I want to bite at Toronto just because they've had so much success, but just decimated at this point. Total out, Bonds out, Barrett's going to be out, and Trent questionable. Just not enough to play on there. This comes the time of the season where the teams that are out of it just not going to show up. But your best guess. Look what Memphis pulled the other night. Half the team, but basically the whole team was out. So we'll wait till a little closer to game time. We'll see if even Trent will play. That to me, it's Toronto or nobody, but need at least one more body in there, one more scorer.
And we had the Clippers at the Pels. Clippers obviously played last night. Big win at Chicago. Shout out Charles Barkley. Give a nice quote on that one. Bulls couldn't win a game in March Madness right now. So we'll see if they turn things around. But they played great last night. Paul George and Kawhi both did. They combined 55 points, 23 to 29. And without Harden, without Westbrook, Bones Highland, big step-up performance for him, 17 points, 11 dimes. This Pelicans team, we talked about it. Zion played good against the Cavs. Everyone else could not hit from outside. They were outshot from three, 20 of 45 to 4 of 22. Pelicans own this matchup, 11-2 the last 13 meetings. It's just a big number here. So have to see which of these guys are sitting. I would assume Kawhi would sit. Back spasms, back-to-back. Don't want to push it before the playoffs, but got to see what's going on here. He's most important. If he's out, I could look at the Pels in this game.
Yeah, you gotta assume that Kawhi's out. Just coming off the last game of Minnesota, he leaves after 12 minutes. Harden didn't play last night. Don't know if that was rest or a little something wrong. Again, all about the injuries, guys. We'll wait to see. Pelicans have owned this matchup, so you want to lean to the Pelicans, especially if Kawhi's out and if they're in a back-to-back. Once again, no Kawhi, no Harden. Pelicans own the matchup. Hey. Pelicans will want to make up for that disaster last game in Cleveland. Would be Pelicans or nobody. But again, we'll gotta wait for the lineups.
And the way things are shaped up, this would be a first round playoff matchup if things landed how they are today. We'll see if things stick true to that. Nuggets at San Antonio. Next one here, Denver. They get the nice win at Miami. They just absolutely own that matchup. Porter with the solid game there. They're now 10-1, 8-3 ATS since the All-Star break, killing it. Spurs, they're killing it just as much, though. They keep covering as well. They're also 8-3 against the spread since the All-Star break, coming off a tight game with Houston. They lose, but they cover. And then as far as the matchup history, Denver got them bad earlier this season, but Spurs, they covered both meetings in San Antonio last year. Big points here. You look at this trip right now for the Nuggets, similar thoughts to I had with what the Suns had going on. I mean, they got 3 tough games on this trip, at Miami, at Dallas, and then at Minnesota, the 1 seed to wrap things up. To battle for the 1 seed to wrap things up. This, to me, is a spot you might catch Denver sleeping a little bit. Still think they win this game, obviously, but San Antonio might give them a hard-fought one because he was up with Keldon Johnson, but lean Spurs in this game.
Johnson looks like he's going to be back. He was just out for an illness in the last game. Denver, are they showing up to play today? As Ben was saying, that this is just right in the middle of their situation, beating Miami and their next 2 games at Dallas, at Minnesota. Real tough for Denver to want to get up to play this San Antonio team today. And they've just been phenomenal since the All-Star break. They've kicked it into the next gear. Denver, do they want to win by double digits? Can they? Absolutely. Do they want to? Will they show up? We saw a little this type of situation last week back in Denver. Toronto came in undermanned, and they were up 20 in the first half. Yeah. Denver flipped the switch in the second half and went outright. So this is a game we'll watch, like I said, and see how they played. You never know. Maybe even Denver gives a guy a day off today with a couple of big games coming up.
And last game on the slate, Hawks at Utah. Hawks coming off a loss at Portland. Always tough losing them. Murray did drop 40 points there. Got to see what's up with Bogdanovich. He could be missing. Johnson, he's had issues. He could be missing. And then you have Utah, your 2 top guys, Markin and Clarkson. They could be missing. So who knows what you have going on in this game tonight, injury-wise. But I do know you have one of your top 5 against the spread home teams, NBA worst against the spread road team in the Hawks. And you have the Jazz in a little bit of a revenge spot. Hawks won the last 2 meetings earlier this year in Atlanta, last year in Utah, but Jazz had won the prior 6 meetings, including 3 straight in Utah. So this to me would be a little bit of a revenge spot. You have one of your better home teams versus the worst road team against the spread. Would be worth a look at the Jazz today.
Damn, I thought I had updated all this. It's my bad. I didn't update the site. Hawks will be hoping to get Johnson back. He's missed the last few games. They're already missing Trae Young, obviously, Akinagwu, and Bey. Johnson out too, and now possibly Bogdanovich. This leaves DeJounte Murray and what other 4 guys they can rustle up to put on the court. Utah going through the same stuff. Markkanen's missed the last 4. He's definitely out. Clarkson definitely out. Dunn definitely out. 2 beat-up teams over here. We'll wait to see who's gonna take the court for both teams tonight. But look, Atlanta, one of the worst against the spread road records. Utah, one of the best against the spread home records. Taking points, I'd rather be on Utah than Atlanta. Bottom line.
No, that's it. We got some injuries on the slate, guys, and that's going to continue next couple of weeks here of the NBA season. You guys want those injuries throughout the weekend, make sure you sign up massaedge.com or download the Massa Edge app. You guys will get all that updated info throughout the week. John, things have been hot. Hopefully we can carry that into this weekend and right on into baseball season.
Yeah, as Ben said in the opening, baseball's here a week away. We'll be still at our $199 price. And again, if you're become a member in the next week before that first pitch of the baseball season, you have $199 and you have grandfathered in forever at $199. That first pitch gets thrown, it's $299. We beat baseball season every year. Basketball is a little rough. We're turning the corner on it out, get the best of both worlds, finish up the NBA. We got a lot of NBA playoffs left to go. And baseball, become a member today.
Make sure you guys take advantage of that promo NBA 2024. Other than that, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe below, and let's make some money, John.
Let's make some money.